Hello, my name is Arthur, also known in some circles as Polish Q, and this is the first episode of my playthrough of The Witness, this new puzzle game that just came out today, in fact. And I've really never done this before in terms of broadcasting or recording my gameplay. This is what people call a let's play. But I've watched a few, but I don't really know the rules or the accepted standards or whatever you want to say about that. So I'm just going to play the game and kind of talk about my experience. And I should say that I've never played this before. Of course, it just came out. I've been following the development of the game pretty closely, and I've read a lot of previews and watched some videos of some very early areas of the game, but I've really tried not to spoil myself on anything. If you want to watch these videos of me playing the game, you'll be seeing me kind of figure out the game as I go. So yeah, let's get started. So I should note also that this is exactly how the game starts. There was no real loading. Well, there was a loading screen, but no real title, or I didn't have to click any buttons, to get here. The game has just dropped me into this what appears to be a tunnel with something at the end here, and it's prompting me to move forward with the left stick, so I'm gonna move forward. And so this is the new game by Jonathan Blow, who's kind of one of the most well-known independent developers of video games, and his last game came out let's say like 8 years ago, and that was called Braid, and it came out to much acclaim. But this is a much different game from Braid. Braid was kind of a what they call a puzzle platformer, and so that's played in a kind of a two-dimensional, hand-drawn format where you're moving a character from left to right on the screen, and most of the puzzles in that game had to do with time, like you could rewind time and that sort of thing. And so this new game, The Witness, is now in three-dimensional space. We're going to be exploring a large island and solving the puzzles we find there, and kind of harkens back to old adventure games like Myst and Riven that came out on the PC back in the 90s. And there really haven't been a lot of games quite like that in recent years. So that's one of the reasons I'm very excited for this. Anyway, I should get to the point here. This is our first puzzle, or this is our first panel that we can interact with. And I can move this cursor around the screen. And I think what it wants us to do here is click here and then move this line from left to right, and then press X again. And we've solved that puzzle. At least we've learned how to use these panels, or this specific panel. And here's where we came from. Oh, hold on, I need to invert the y-axis, and I might as well turn subtitles on. And yeah, let's go back. Okay. All right, now that's better. So I can look up and down correctly. So I just wanted to point out here, I've seen this panel in the previews, and I think it's pretty interesting that what we've done here is we've walked, a straight line. Also, there's my shadow. We've, walked through this tunnel in a straight line, and then we had to draw a straight line on this panel here that kind of mirrors what we just did. So I'm curious to see, if that kind of idea repeats itself throughout the game. Anyway, so now we're in a dark cavern, sort of cave room, rock walls. There's like a shelf here. And there's another panel, and now it wants us to draw a line with an angle. And actually that also mirrors what we just did. We had to turn left to get to this panel. So that's kind of interesting. And now it looks like we're heading outdoors. All right, so we're in some kind of courtyard. Also, I just want to... There's the mountain you can see in the background there, straight ahead of us. I imagine that's going to be important. And here we see another panel. But let's not do that quite yet. Let's look around. There's the sun. So we're in this courtyard. And I imagine this is the way we're going to need to go. Actually, I know this is the way we need to go because I've seen this in previews. But there's a force field blocking our path. We can't go through that. So it seems like we're going to need to do something probably with this panel to open that. And we can interact with it. And we can start drawing a line, but we can't go past these things that are blocking it. So let's look around. Also, there are these cables that we can follow. So let's follow a cable. So this one goes over here into this alcove kind of place. But that screen is not active. I can't do anything here. Let's follow... Okay, so that goes to this panel, which is also not active. And then there's a cable going over the wall, going to this one, so the panel we saw before. So why don't we solve this? This is just a simple maze here. Hardly worth thinking about. But when we solve that, now the cable's lit up. Now we can follow it back to this panel, which now is active. So let's solve this. Now for most of these early ones, I'm assuming all I need to do is draw a line from the kind of large circle to this little nub, which is blinking. And that does seem to solve it. And also, I can't believe I'm playing this game because I've been waiting for this for years. This was I first really heard about this game back when the PlayStation 4 was first announced, which was I think in early 2013. That was when they released the first real trailer for this game, and at the time, Jonathan Blow, the creator, was saying that it was supposed to be released in 2014. And obviously that didn't happen, but he's been spending quite a lot of time with his small team just polishing the game, making it as good as he could get it. And I'm really excited to see how deep this goes. Anyway, so here's another panel, which is a little bit more complicated than the previous ones, but still a simple matter of solving that. And now this cable is active, and it's bringing us back here to this first panel. So it looks like we've successfully removed one of these, let's call them locks. So one lock down. Now we still need to follow these other inactive cables and get those lit up. Okay, so it looks like that one goes over this wall here. That's the doorway I came through initially. And here's the other side of the wall. And we can follow the cable over here. And here's the panel. So, oops. So I already know a little bit about this from watching videos, but we see here that there's actually two nubs where we can, two exits to the maze. And it looks like each exit corresponds to a different cable on the right there. So we can solve it like this, and that lights up that panel, and actually I think I just heard something unlocking in the distance. But that goes out that window, and I don't think we can get out there yet. So that might be something where we need to kind of note that, that's something we can do, but we're going to have to come back and see what that does later. So let's solve it the other way. We actually have to go past that one and down here. And now the other cable is lit up. And I think that's the one we need right now. And I gotta say, it's kind of weird talking to myself as I play this. But I want to record my time with this game and sort of my thought process. Because games like this only come out along every once in a while, and I think it'd be cool to have a record of my time with it. Alright, so there's one more we have to do. Let's follow this cable. And also I can move a little faster if I hold down the shoulder button on the controller. So this is interesting. We've got two places where we can start the maze, or the line. And it looks like we probably need to start on this side. So, yep, looks like we're good. And there's only one exit this time. And I think, if we had started on the left, we actually wouldn't have been able to get to the exit. So that's the only way to solve this panel. Alright, so now all the panels are lit up, or all the cables are lit up. They're all powering those locks. So it looks like now we can turn this force field off. Yeah, so what we've learned here is that, we need to draw a line from the start to the exit of each panel. Sometimes there can be multiple places to start. Sometimes there can be multiple places to end. And when there are multiple places to end, which exit you choose can have a different effect in the world. So we'll need to remember that, and we'll also need to remember to come back at some point and to see what that other cable does. Alright, so now we are out in the world, and now it's telling me that I can use the L2 button to run. And let's come up here and take a look around. Looks like a little kind of outlook. So yeah, this is beautiful. So what do we got here? We have some brightly colored trees, some sort of autumn leaves in the background there. It looks like a few towers, maybe some buildings that we'll be entering at some point. There's kind of a pier going out into the lake here, or I guess more of a bay. There's a little, looks like a buoy in the water. Some very bright palm trees on this promontory. And there's that mountain in the distance that we saw earlier. It looks like there's something, you can just barely see, there's something on top of the mountain. It looks like a little kind of arch, or series of arches. So yeah. And turning around here, that's where we just came from. And here's something interesting. And I've seen this vault door in these sort of preview videos, but I have no idea what's inside here. And we can also see that this puzzle here is much more complicated than any of the things in the sort of initial area where we started. So there were multiple places we could start the line. There's also 3 different exits, and we can try that, but it doesn't work. And there are these symbols also inside the maze, and we have no idea what those mean at this point, so I don't think we can really solve this one at the moment. In fact, I know we can't solve it because there's additional information that we need, and I happen to know that the information is right over here. And just to say, like, it seems like I know a lot of information about the game already, but once we solve these kind of initial puzzles here and get that vault door open, I will really be at a loss. So, I know how these ones work, but I don't know how the ones after this work. So we'll explore that together. So here, we have these symbols, and this is very simple. There's obviously only a few ways we could solve this, and we can see that that doesn't work. And those things are blinking at us kind of angrily. and that doesn't work either. So that pretty much leaves us with one option, which is to draw a line through the middle. And that worked. And so now we have sort of the same situation. And it seems like we can do the same thing, draw a line through the middle. And that worked too. So we seem to understand kind of the basics of these symbols here. It looks like we have to draw a line that separates the white ones from the black ones. Yeah, that seemed to work. And here too. Now, they've made it a little bit more complicated. There's more of a group of black ones that we need to separate from the single white one. Now there's a group of each color, so we have to separate all the white ones from all the black ones. And that worked. And yeah, so this is kind of the same thing, except now the exit's at a different place, so we had to go kind of the other way around the group of white. Because, and I guess, one thing that's important to note, also, you can start a puzzle over even if you've solved it. But if we had tried to solve this one the original way, which was going this way, now we get back here, and our line can't actually cross itself. So that's an important limitation of this interface, something that factors into the puzzle. So because the exit was over there, now we have to go this way around. So now we have the starting point in the corner like before, and now the exit's up here. And also now we have a new complication. We have a one white dot that's not with the others. So, we can't do this because now we have a black square inside of our group. But we can do this, go around the outside. And now that should work. Yep, we're good. And also, why don't we test it? You can go back and solve it another way and see if that works too. So, for example, does this blank square here make a difference? Like, should we include it with the white group or should we include it with the black group? It worked the first time by kind of leaving the blank square out. Let's see if this works too. That also does seem to work. So now we've learned a little bit more. We have a more nuanced understanding of the language here. So now, the initial instinct is to do the same thing, but we can't go past the exit because we'll block it off later. So what we need to do here is probably go this way. All right. And here's our little final puzzle of the set. Obviously, we can't go around this way because it blocks the exit. And we can't go around that way. So what we actually need to do here is, they made it seem like these were separate, like that one white square was a separate group from this one, but they actually can be part of the same group, because there's no black ones in between. All right, so we just solved that whole set. Look at that. Now, normally you'd expect that to have some kind of effect in the world, like opening a door, or making some change. But I think, as far as I know, this set of puzzles is really just, the point of that is just to teach you what these symbols mean and how to deal with them, even in a complex situation. So now, by solving that series, we have a kind of a pretty good working understanding of how, what to do when we see these symbols. And it's pretty cool that it kind of gave us that just by, making us do the work. There was no verbal communication there. It was all just you kind of teach the simple concept and then you build on it and you let people test it out and see what works and what doesn't, and that's kind of cool. All right, so now we have kind of a new concept. Now there's these black dots inside the line, so let's see what that means. So, you know, first thing we can try is just solving it the easy way, but that doesn't seem to work, and those things are flashing. So probably what we need to do is draw a line that goes through both of those dots, and that seems to work. Now let's just test that. Let's try a line that only goes through one. Nope, that does not work. So I think we had the right idea. Okay. So we have to be a little bit more creative with how we draw our line. I think this will work. Just got to get all the dots and not cross ourselves. So that did the trick. Here again, I think we can do the same, roughly the same thing. I think, was that actually, that was the same line. Interesting. Okay, and now we're starting in the, oh, there's two places to start. So let's see. I don't think this will work because, right, we can't go that way because then we're not able to get that one. We can't go this way because then we'd have to go there, and that doesn't work. And we can't go that way. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to start there. Let's try starting here. And this looks like we're on the right track. Okay. So, you know, where you start obviously matters. Let's see, this could work, I think. Okay. All right, and that was the last one. Okay, so now we know how the black dots work, that are, you know, if they're inside the line. And now we know what to do if there's white and black squares. So let's go back here and see if we can open that vault now. And, you know, the interesting thing here is that, you know, the game didn't give us a key or anything, or it didn't, you know, we didn't just press a button to unlock the store. The only thing that's changed is our understanding of these symbols. So let's put it to practice. All right, we've got 4 places to start. But I'm thinking that, you know, only one of them will be correct. So this one, obviously we can't start here because we need to cover both of these dots, and that's impossible to do if we start there. And here too, I don't think this will work because we need to cover this dot, and we also need to go between these squares. So if we try to go between the squares, then we can't cover the dot, and vice versa. And here too, if we started there, we would need to go left and right, and that's impossible. So let's start here. And okay, so this should be pretty straightforward. So we have to cover those 2 dots. We have to cover these 2 dots. We have to go between these. And we have to go between these. And we have to separate those. And we have to go through these dots, and we have to go through this dot, and we have to, oh wait. Maybe if we go this way. Okay, because we have to, you know, all the white squares have to be in the same selection, so to speak. And how about that? Does that work? It does. Very cool. Alright, I have no idea what's inside this place. Let's find out. Huh. Alright, it's kind of like a... Oh, that's cool. That kind of looks like a tree. Interesting. What do we have here? Okay. So it looks like some kind of lockbox, and there's a kind of a panel here. We can do that. And now it's open. Ooh. Huh. Well, I think I'm going to write that down, because I'm sure we're going to need that later. And I just played through Riven the other day, the Myst 2, which is kind of a similar game, and I was taking a lot of notes for that. So I already have a notebook right here. So let's just draw this hexagon really quick, or this kind of honeycomb, I guess you'd call it. I could just take a screenshot, but what's the fun in that? I could also just reference this video later, but I want to be thorough. Okay, so I drew the grid. Now there's a circle there, and a line. Okay, going like that. And I realize this does not make for a very exciting video to watch, but, you know, this is, we're all in this together. Okay, I've drawn it, and I'll put, that's in the vault near beginning. Okay. All right. So I'm sure this will make sense later. And I'm still curious about this kind of tree illusion. Like that cloud kind of looks like tree branches in a way. Or, tree canopy for that branch. Very strange. Maybe I should note that too. Well, I'll remember. Okay. So there's really only one way to go. Actually, we could, since we're still here, why don't we go take a look, see if we can figure out what that other cable was leading to. And also, I wonder if we can find that window that we were just looking through. Oh yeah. Yep, there's the branch. There's the window, that's where we just were. And there's that conspicuous little cloud that looks like tree leaves. Alright, and this is the outside of the kind of courtyard where we just were. We solved all those puzzles in there in the beginning. Now it looks like we can walk around the ramparts here. So this is interesting. There's some steps. That's the force field gate that we deactivated. And now we're up here. But I don't know that there's necessarily anything we can do up here. So, yeah. Okay, so where was that cable? I think it might be, okay, oh yeah. So that's the panel with the two cables coming out of it, and there's the one that goes through the window. Alright, I'll come back to that in a second. Let's just see what else is up here on this upper level. So here's the roof of that kind of ruined building. And, looks like somebody is sitting up here. That's weird. There's a little glowy thing that's blinking. There's some, I guess, coasters Is that a glass of liquid? I guess so. Kind of looks like a crystal, but I think it's a glass. Maybe a glass of water. So, can I do something with that? Oh. What?
Through many births,
Oh.
I have wandered on and on, searching for, but never finding, the builder of this house.
Interesting. So I'm guessing we're gonna find more of those as we play. Maybe get some information about this place. Hopefully, although I'm sure a lot of it will be very obscure, like that was. And so this is just like the other place we just were. Huh, wonder what that sort of, kind of like a radio tower or something. And I think that was lit up before when the force field was active. I don't know if that is significant, but probably is. I don't think any of the details in this game are just random. And we'll have to figure it out. Let's see. So, I knew there were audio logs in this game, like audio recordings you can find, but I had no idea they were that tiny. So we're gonna have to really look for those. I'm assuming. Oh, look at this. Here's a door that we can't get through, and there's the cable that we saw before. So, in the interest of being thorough, why don't we go turn that back on and see where that leads. Okay, here we are again. Let's draw our line. And we're going to go to this cable now. All right. So now that door in the back should be open, I hope. It sounded like it opened. And the force field is still deactivated. So that's good. So that's interesting. So, all right, I'm glad that that did not lock us back in. All right, so let's see where this goes. Here's the cable, which is now active, and now the door is open. There's that. There's that cloud again. Okay, so this just sort of allows us to go around the outer edge of the fort. Now these trees look a little bit like that tree we saw in through the window. I don't know if that's significant. Probably not. I think there's probably a lot of trees that look kind of like that. Aha! Here we go. Here is a panel. Oh. Aha! I think we can solve this. It looks like it's just the black dots, so we just need to draw a line that goes through all of these. So let's try it. All right, I think that's it, right? Nice. And what do we have in here? There's a tree kind of growing out of a... Oh. Okay, now this one, we could try to brute force this, but I don't know what this yellow triangle means. And I don't think... Well, why don't we try it? I'm assuming that we'll learn about triangles later, but maybe we'll get lucky. No. Nope. Aha. Well, that worked. But I don't know what that did. Maybe this is one where it's just teaching us about triangles. So what does that mean? Does that mean... Maybe it means that only lines going from right to left can touch that square? So this didn't work because we have a line going from a line going vertically up and then crossing over. So yeah, it seems like you can only be on this side of the triangle. Well, you could be on the top, I assume, but you can only draw lines that go from right to left, in kind of in the direction that the triangle is pointing. I'm gonna go with that for now. But this is another dot puzzle. So let's see. But now some of the paths are broken. So maybe if we go down first. No, I don't think that'll work. Wait, no. Nope. If we go this way. That's the same problem. All right. What if... what if we do this? No. Nope. So... Oh. What if we do this? Aha! Nice. That's cool. Yeah, and some of the lines you end up drawing look rather pleasing aesthetically. Okay, so now where are we? Oh. 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 So this door was just hidden. So... what was the point of that? Other than teaching us more about dots. I mean, we solved this. Maybe this is important in some way. Well, guess we'll find out later. Is there anything down here? Nope. Doesn't look like it. All right. Okay. Well, I'll play for about 10 more minutes, I think. And let's see where we can go next. All right, so we've got all right, so these are the puzzles we solved before. So now we've got like a colorful pink grove of trees over there. We have another grove of trees that is kind of more drab looking. It looks like some machinery in here. What's all this? There's kind of paint splatter. And it looks like kind of maybe logging equipment. Is this a dumpster? Or just anything in here? Well, this is definitely some kind of either logging or harvesting of some kind. So I don't know what that's all about. There's what's over here. No, nothing much. Okay, but there's this sort of canyon we can go down. It looks like there's a building here. The ambiance has kind of changed. A little bit of a different wind sound down in here. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we've got this structure. It looks like we have to solve a puzzle to get into it. We can probably solve this, right? Okay, 2 places to start. Oh, and there's 2 exits. Let's try this. Oh. Oh. Okay, so when I draw one line, the other side is like mirrored. So let's try that. Okay. All right. We have some vases. That's interesting. That's got to be significant. The way the shape changes, that seems like a progression to me. And same with that. But I don't know where we would use that information at this point. Alright, what do we have here? That doesn't look like anything. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that well, so far we know we can interact with the panels, obviously, and certain other things like the audio log kind of had a button on it that we could press. Oh, it's like a sand castle. And several other mounds of sand. What else do we have here? That's interesting. Looks like those could be panels at some point once we power them up. And we've got we can't walk into the water. It's good to know. Look at those reflections. All right, so I think the only thing we can do in here at this point is solve these. This is the only one that's lit up right now. Okay, so this looks like the same thing. That's pretty simple. And this one, okay. Oh. So let's try going... Let's try starting over here. Wait. What am I missing? Ah, okay. Okay. Whoa, okay. Oh. That's interesting. Oh, interesting. So, because these bracket sort of things are covering that up, I can't start there. So there's like there's 4 where I could start, but 2 of them are covered up, and that prevents me from initializing there. So let's try this. So I wonder if I'll be able to move those brackets later. Alright, I can definitely do that. Oh, okay. Huh. Alright, so now we're out here on the ocean. And we have a blank screen, which we can't do anything with, I guess. And there's another buoy. We saw that buoy before in the other bay area that we were looking out at before. Those rocks look kind of conspicuous. Is that all we did? Is there anything else? This cable is active now, but these cables are not. Oh. Aha! So I guess we turned this on. Oh, so now it's a new kind of mirroring. So now it's kind of like a diagonal axis. But we can solve these. They're not too bad. Oh, okay. So my instinct was for to go for the bottom right with, you know, to go to the opposite exits as this, but this makes more sense. All right, so now that's active. And, huh. I wonder what that's going to do. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Aha. Okay. Is this the same? It looks kind of the same. That is the same. Okay. That's crazy. Alright, so now we know... Whoa, okay, so a panel... I think it's the same as before, again. But now we know a panel can be all distorted like this. And it still works. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now we follow this cable over here. And, oh, it's going outside. Oh, okay, it's going over here. So they definitely give you kind of breadcrumbs to follow. Look at that. Let's see where this goes. There's that pink grove we saw before. Okay, so the cable leads here. So I'm guessing this panel was not active previously. Okay, and this looks like it's another dot puzzle. And we know how to solve those. And that worked. Huh, look at those doors. That's nice. Oh, so looks like we can go up or down, or oh, there's several paths here. Although looks like we can't get in here because that's all blocked off. We probably looks like there's a cable. We need to activate that. Okay. Well, let's follow the cables. It's usually a good plan. All right, so that's the cable. It goes down here. Those screens are not active yet, so let's follow that cable. It goes down over this tree, over here to this set of screens, which don't look to be active. And then that goes over here. And that's the door we came in from. And, oh, here we go. So there's a panel that's active. So just looking around before we start that. All right. All right, let's solve this one, and then we'll... Okay. All right, so now it looks like we have kind of the mirrored lines plus the dots. So they're starting to combine different concepts. So in the previous one, we had the dots in the same spot on the top and the bottom. But now we have dots in different places. Okay. So now we have to kind of be looking at both parts. Oh. Oops. Okay. How are we going to do this? Oh, maybe, okay. There, no. Seems like we need to go there. This is a doozy. But then we have to go that way. Wait a minute. What if we go here? Aha! There we go. Okay. Oh no. Alright. Okay. Alright. Oh, now all the dots are on the top. This will work. Yep. Cool. All right. I think I'm going to cut it there. We'll pick up with this puzzle next time. Look at the what? Okay, I don't even know what that means. So yeah, thanks for watching the first episode, and I'll try to, I'm sure I'll be playing this game a lot, so I'll try to get these out fairly frequently. So yeah, thanks for watching. All right, see you next time.